Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. I'm Matt. Today is Flag Day, and it's also the 250th anniversary of the Army. So congratulations to them. Today we're going to do a patriotic shave. So without further ado, the shaving soap today is the most patriotic one I have in my den. It is SMG's the Prez. I believe this came out somewhere around 2019, 2020. Not 100% sure when it came out. But it's got a nice cologne scent. I wish I could remember which one it is, but it's very sophisticated. It's nice. The razor today is a classic. This is an important one to me. This is a Torrey razor, and it's actually my great-grandfather's straight razor. So I'm very happy to be able to shave with this. He went off to World War I. I doubt he brought this with him, but he definitely purchased it sometime before World War I because we also have his safety razor. So I assume that he probably switched over to a Gillette sometime around then. My shaving brush today is a genuine rubber set, made in America. It says made in the USA on the bottom there. And it's probably an 18 millimeter. It's a little tiny brush. No matter, we'll make it work. I usually work with the 26 millimeter brushes for the most part. I'm gonna load this one for probably about 25, 30 seconds. So I'll shut up and load. All right, looking beautiful. I think that's about 25 seconds worth of load time. I started my channel somewhere around 4 or 5 years ago. I'm not exactly sure the time frame when I started it, but whenever I started the channel, I called it Straight Faced with Lukey 3262, and I think that the prime reason I selected that is I planned on having discussions and other things go on whenever I'm doing my shaves. And for some reason, I never really brought the discussions and all that in. And I think I want to start doing that a little bit more. I don't know. I mean, a lot of times I just talk about my life, but it'd be kind of fun to bring some other stuff in. But hang on a sec. Let me get lathered up. Do a little pre-shave. In the shower, I used the Sterling Rosemary Mint. I used the the soap and the conditioner on my beard. So should be good to go for this shave. And this is a Pure Badger, and it's, whenever I picked this brush up, this rubber set, I picked it up new old stock in a box. So it's probably 1940s, 1950s. But somehow the bristles have held up really well for this Pure Badger. It's got a little scritchiness to it, which is nice. Don't mind the extra exfoliation. Now, back to what I was saying. I don't talk politics or anything on my channel. That is not my thing. I think that's everyone's personal preference. But with it being Flag Day, as an American, I'm a pretty patriotic guy. I mean, I've got a red, white, and blue barber pole. Behind me, I've got a flag in my front yard. I've always been very patriotic. My family is. We immigrated to the United States back in the 1860s. A bunch of Germans came in, and our family came along with them. And we've had family fight in pretty much every war since the 1860s. I don't believe in the Civil War, but I'm sure on my other grandparents' side we did. I've got American Indian in my family. My mom, who knows how much she is, she's got Indian on both sides of her family. Very patriotic family. And so today's kind of a big day. I mean, you've got protests popping up all over the United States. You've got Flag Day. You've got a big parade for the military. There's a lot going on in the United States. And it's just important, in my opinion, that we have the rights that we have. We have the right to protest. We have the right to assemble. I'm going to shut up while I... Now, I mean, I am so thankful for the right to protest and assemble, because so many other countries don't have that. And now my wife, she comes from Belarus, where they don't have the right to protest. In fact, they have a president, but really he's a dictator in Belarus. And right around the time we got engaged and married, he won a presidential election, which was majorly contested because he won it by like 85% of the vote or something like that, which is kind of statistically impossible. And like I said, they don't have the right to protest. So, but people still went out in the streets and protested. And when that happened, the military came out. They started shooting protesters in the street. And had some pretty major crackdowns. And they even outlawed clapping. Would you believe that? People would... Trying to slice my lip up talking. So what would happen is people would assemble in quiet places. No one's talking, no loudspeakers. And people would assemble and they would clap to resist the regime. And it became outlawed. So there were people actually that got arrested for clapping in public. They even made it, if I remember correctly, illegal to organize any kind of event larger than, I think it was like 4 or 5 people. I remember my future wife telling me about this, and I just thought how foreign and how crazy that sounds to me. But you just couldn't get out on the street. You couldn't make these discussions. You couldn't even talk. You couldn't talk about it online. You couldn't, there wasn't a ton of discourse online, but you couldn't get out in the streets at all. And so that makes you think how lucky we are in this country that we can get out and protest and make our voices heard to the powers that be, or even just different sides of the spectrum here in the United States. To me, and to a lot of people, as long as you're a good person, and you have good motives, and you want to see change, and you want to get out in the streets and quietly protest, or not quietly, even not quietly, by all means, as long as there's no violence or threats or anything like that, God love them. Get out there, have a great time, make your voices heard. And I pray for our country today that through these protests that they're going to have today, that they get out there and do it safely, without blocking traffic or hurting anybody. No fires, none of that. But it's a wonderful right that we have. My buddy Rich, he has his channel through Safety Cat Studios. He's doing a patriotic series right now, which I'm following very closely, where he's discussing the American Revolution and every shave, and I think you need to check that one out. So check out Safety Cat Studios, like and subscribe to him. He's awesome. I love Rich. He's a great dude. And then, of course, if you want, like and subscribe to my channel as well. Don't know what it's like where you're at today, but it is hot and super humid today here in Missouri. We've had rain pretty much the last 3 days straight. And now it's starting to get sunny out there, and it's, I think, about 85. So it's kind of gross. Now this razor, I touched it up. On an American stone. So it got touched up on my ancient ocean jasper, which I believe comes from Colorado. I bought it from Wild Whetstones back when they were actively producing them. Admittedly, my great-grandfather's razor has never been the best shaving razor. When I got it, my dad gave it to me. I mean, this thing was, it doesn't look it now, but it's got plenty of little rust dark spots on it. But when I got it, it was covered in rust. And I ground away at this one, probably not enough, and it still has a few spots. On the edge that give me pause. But actually, after touching it up on the jasper, it's really nice. This is the hard part. I have limited vision in my left eye due to ongoing healing from a retinal detachment. Every time I do this part of my neck, It's like doing it blind. I can't, all I see is blur in the camera. I can't see, I can't put contacts in this eye, and I can't really even see very well out of it with my glasses. Hopefully that'll change soon, but it's always difficult. Really nice cologne, I don't know what you would call that, colonia? I'm not sure what the scent is on the shaving soap, but I have always liked it. Though, to be honest with you, it's kind of set at the back of my den for quite a while. It's kind of the 4th of July or patriotic holiday shaving soap that I get out. But SMG, I have about 3 or 4 of his soaps. He produces some pretty decent soaps. I mean, they're nice, made here in America. They lather pretty well. Smell pretty good. Just, I guess I need to reach for them more often. Very slick. Residual slickness on it's pretty great. I think he was selling his soaps on Etsy. I remember found him and bought this soap actually on Facebook. This is where I found him. I feel like this is closer to 2020 is when he made this one. Might have bought it around 4th of July or so. Yeah, listening to Rich shave today, talking about these men that became founding fathers of our country. A lot of them were in their 20s. They weren't even the most influential of their, well, they ended up becoming the most influential of their generation, but they might not have been the firstborn. A lot of self-made men. It's amazing how different our country would be without the founding fathers that we did have. Struggling a little bit on my chin, even with a touch-up. Yeah, I might take this one all the way back to bevel set and work out some of the little issues that it has. But with that, guys, that's a pretty nice shave. Regardless, I mean, it's a little tuggy there, but not a problem. But again today, got to give some love to my grandfather and his vintage Torrey. Thankful for him and his sacrifice in World War I. where he was part of the United States Army. My grandfather was part of the U.S. Army in World War II. I have an uncle who was in Vietnam, Gulf War, other grandfather in Korea. So lots of them all around. All right, do a little alum. I think this alum is the only non-American element of this shave today. The razor, the Torrey's made in America. It's actually says USA on it. The soap, the aftershave, the balm, the brush, the water. All right. Well, a little sting right here, and right here, which is normal. So, clean up my brush real quick. Look at that beautiful vintage rubber set. I love the orange. So cool. All right. Balm today, I'm going to use Lisa's Naturals, her vetiver. It's a nice, relaxing scent. If you've never tried Lisa's Natural, she's got some great products. Her shaving soaps are great, both varieties. And her bath soaps are wonderful. I really like them. Unfortunately, she only has one kind of shampoo soap. That's all right. All right, and finally, we're gonna do a little shot of the Prez. All right. It's got some nice citruses. It's like Kelowna, Italian. Very nice. All right, guys. That is my shave for the day. Happy Flag Day. Happy birthday, U.S. Army. Everybody, have a wonderful day. I will shave with you later. Take care.